Hi, and welcome to the Theme Park Duo podcast. Grab your park map, churro, and hop in line with us as we take you on a coast-to-coast adventure through the world of theme parks, haunts, conventions, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Nikki and Gabriel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 24 of the Theme Park Duo podcast. It is our holiday special, part 2. I'm one of your hosts, Nikki.
And I'm your other host, Gabriel. You might be asking yourself, hey, guys, what's up with Gabe's voice? It sounds super funky. It's because my voice is hoarse and I'm losing it. That's why.
Yeah.
It's coming to the end of the season.
It's rather funny.
It's rough. My voice is rough, and in general, everything is rough at the moment.
Are you saying that's your outlook on life right now? Just rough?
It's very negative. I sound like a gruff old policeman who's come to the end of his run. You do. Who's very negative on his outlook of life. I'm like a Bruce Willis of sorts. At least I'd like to think so. The Bruce Willis of theme park worlds. There's too many screens. I don't know. Welcome to the show, everybody. As Nikki said, we're here to talk about holidays at Universal Studios Hollywood. Lots of things to cover here. Lots of really fun things that we got to experience.
Yeah, there's Grinchmas, and there's a few special things at Hogsmeade as well.
Yes. Yeah. And before we get started into that, make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of the episode, because at the end of the episode, we will be revealing who our special guest is for our season finale episode, which is the next episode coming out right after this one. Woo! So just a week after us releasing this, you will be having our season finale. So stay tuned for the information at the end. So moving forward, let's talk about all the fun stuff at Universal Studios Hollywood. So City Walk is completely decked out. They have wreaths everywhere. King Kong has mistletoe, which is awkward.
And a Santa hat on.
And a Santa hat. I wish they took the time to make it look like he's holding it, though.
It just slapped on his fist.
They just went and just put it on it, like just paste it on top.
I wonder if anyone actually kisses under it.
I don't know, but they are also right underneath his butt, so that's awkward.
No, you're not. You're off to the side.
Well, still, I mean, you're like within range. You're still in the splash zone.
You made it so awkward just now. Why would you do that?
Isn't it my job to make things awkward and weird?
You don't go there during Christmas.
What do you mean?
No poop splash zone talk during Christmas.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you're at Waterworld and you're sitting right next to the green zone, you're still asking for it.
Waterworld is different than King Kong diarrhea talk. Very different.
My bad, yo. My bad.
Keep it merry and bright.
Not wet and dark. Gross. Moving on. So once you walk up to Universal Studios, you see so much Grinchmas decorations. So much.
Like right away.
The carpet, the trees, the lights. They used to have this really large overarching kind of banner that used to really dominate the entrance of Universal Studios Hollywood with the Grinch's face and stuff on it, but they don't have that this year.
Is that on the inside? Am I mistaken?
Yeah, actually, it's on the other side.
They flipped it inside.
They flipped it. It's on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of where I think me and you differ on opinions about the event in general, which is holidays at Universal Studios, where I personally think that if your whole event that is park-wide is not Grinchmas, then you shouldn't have your whole front entrance of your park be decorated as Grinchmas. Because Grinchmas actually isn't that big. It really just is just that center area right by the big like main Universal Studios like pillar. I don't even know like the center area, whatever that area is called.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really located there. And then one small thing with Whoville on the back lot. And everything else is just kind of general Christmas. But that's really it. So why dedicate the whole entrance to it?
Yeah.
Unless that's really the big thing that you're throwing. But I mean, you also have Christmas in the Wizarding World, which in theory is bigger than Grinchmas.
Well, we do differ here because I think the main thing that they're promoting during this time of year is Grinchmas, regardless of the size of it. And yeah, do I think it could be a little bit bigger and expand further into the park? Yeah, but I think it's big enough of a draw to have it be their main thing that they're promoting outside the park. Like, I think it could go into those two streets. What are they? French
For like the French area, the French Street and Baker Street.
Yeah, and Baker Street. Yeah, those. I think it could expand into there. You could have Whovillians walking around there and have, the fun decorations over there too. Like almost going into the Minion area. But like I feel like it doesn't need to expand any farther than that. Like it doesn't need to go into the Simpsons area at all, because that's its own thing. Hogsmeade is its own thing, and the backlot is like too far removed. It would kind of feel weird to have Grinchmas stuff down there too, I think. So I think it's okay where it is. It could expand a little bit because it does get really, really congested in there. But I think it's still big enough of a draw to have it be promoted like that.
Whovillians, is that the correct term?
Whovillians.
Whovillians?
I think so.
Whoville citizens?
Citizens of Whoville?
I don't know.
Oh, I just made up a word. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's okay. It works. People get it.
No, it totally does.
Yeah.
And I don't completely disagree with you. I think to a certain extent you are right that is their main draw. That is what they're trying to promote. So that's why it's decorated outside like that. Totally agree. I think we are in agreement that it needs to be a little bit bigger. It's just a little small, and it does get pretty insanely crowded in that area.
It gets a little stressful. Even if they took... Like, okay, you know how there's that circle area, and then there's all along the outside, there's tables and chairs? If you even did a simple thing like taking the Grinch meet and greet and the Max meet and greet and just making the lines for that go outside, it would open up a lot of space.
Oh, no, you're totally
even
right.
That.
You're totally right.
Like, just something else to decongest that area, because it's quite stressful when it's, like, really packed.
Yeah, just kind of like lines kind of mashed together and people in areas just kind of mashed together and things like that.
Yeah, and then the whole stage, people are just sitting there, so there's very little room to walk around them.
Unless there's like nobody there, it really just looks like a mass of people because of that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mean to brag on it like immediately because I actually really, really enjoy the event as a whole. I just would love to see it expand.
Yeah.
But like even when you were talking about like, like Krusty Land area where the Simpsons is its own thing. Then you have Jurassic Park, which is its own thing. A few other things. What I think I had mentioned at the park was that it would be really interesting to kind of see it almost done in a way of how the Haunted Mansion is done. Where you have Jack is here to deck our halls and Jack does his version of things, But that at Universal with the Grinch, and he comes in and the Grinches things up and does his own things not every ride, just more or less decorations around the park to kind of get the feeling that he was there, which is kind of funny. Yeah. Just to have certain types of garland and stuff anywhere he wants to go, because the Grinch is the Grinch and he's going to do what he wants. And if he's going to put garland up and down, the lower lot, then that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, just something silly. It doesn't necessarily even have to be the rides, because that's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just my thought. I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah, no, it would be fun, and it would be a cohesive thing that would really tie it throughout the whole park. But, I think it would be fun, and it would be cool, and it's something they could do, but I don't think it's something they need to do to have
I just thought of a really good idea.
Huh.
So what if, you're going down the escalators all the way down to the lower lot, and they're playing, Whoville Christmas music, but every now and again you would hear him bust through the music and shut it off and say no cheery this, no cheery that, you can't be happy, this is the Grinch and all this stuff, and then the music would glitch back on or something.
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be really funny, but you don't have that because it's kind of just dedicated to that one area.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's a lot of fun ideas that you could play with it because
definitely.
the idea of the Grinch is so broad.
Yeah.
So I just think it's really fun.
Well, let's start talking about a few of the things that they actually do in the Grinchmas area. So there's the 2 meet and greets. You can meet the Grinch and you can meet Max, his dog.
The puppers.
Puppers
with the one little antler, which is really, really cute.
He's super cute and he's super well behaved.
Yes, half the time he's not smiling or panting or whatever, so he looks quite depressed.
He's just focusing though, I think, on his trainer.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's just really focused on getting that treat.
Yeah. He's got to be good. Yeah, but he's super cute. And then the line for the Grinch is always super long, but it's worth it because it's a really fun meet and greet. He's really animated and he talks to you, and
he always really takes his time with you too. Is the thing.
Yeah.
It isn't like a really quick meet and greet where it's oh, hey, here's the picture, hey, nice to meet you, and then moving on. He really takes his time with each person and make it feel like that meet and greet is worth it. Because the line, how long was that line? The line was long.
It was pretty long, yeah.
So at least over an hour long to wait for the Grinch.
At certain times, I could see it getting like that long.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was that long when we were there. But
I mean, that line was really long when we were there.
Yeah.
We didn't wait because we didn't need to.
we got a picture last year.
Yeah. And even when we did it, we thought it was fantastic.
Uh-huh.
It's just really cool to have those characters brought to life, especially if you grew up watching the cartoons and then also passing it on watching the live action film too.
Yeah.
So it's always really nice to have that.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, they had a whole scavenger hunt thing for kids that they had last year.
Yeah, that started at the post office, right?
Yeah, it starts at the post office and you have to go through different portions of that area in order to go back. And then once you turn it all back in and have it all marked, they give you a wristband that says Grinchmas on it.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. And then they also have a photo op that you have to turn upside down on your phone. So it looks like you're falling from a mountain.
Yeah, it's like you're falling from his sleigh. His sleigh is upside
Yeah, like
down.
it's falling off the mountain.
Yeah. And so that's super cool. And then there's the area where you can color in your own Christmas ornaments and hang them on a tree. So that's for kids. That's super cool.
And then plenty of walk around characters to entertain so many people.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Yeah.
I'm so enamored with how many people there are walking around. Whoville citizens. I can't say Whovillians.
Yeah, that's fine.
How many Whoville citizens there are walking around, and their makeup is impeccable.
Their makeup is wonderful. There's stilt walkers, and they're all different characters. There's policemen and like a whole bunch. And
the top of his hat had a coffee cup and a donut going into it.
Yeah, and like their outfits are just like the detail are just so good. Like I was looking at one of the Whoville ladies, and her even like this buckle on her shoe was like a donut or a cookie or something.
It was cookies.
It was cookies. Like, and they're all just so like in their roles, you know, when they're talking to you, and it's just so cool. It was
really fun. I remember being there, and you like hit me, and you're like, Gabe, I was staring too hard at their makeup, trying to find seams, and I feel like I'm staring at them. I'm like, then just stop. Because you do get kind of caught up looking at them because you don't see seams that often.
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe a couple because it's like really hot and then it's falling off, but then they go behind the scenes and get it all fixed up.
Yeah.
Really easily. And I'm always just really impressed with what they're able to do there. Especially given the weather too, which probably isn't all that fun to be wearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, on hot days it probably isn't all that fun, but they do well. They do like they don't show it.
No, they definitely don't show
Yeah.
it. They're fantastic. They're always on point. Mm-hmm. And then also they had some definite treats to have in there. A lot of really cool pictures I got of all this stuff we're gonna be putting up on the blog. But there's cupcakes that have the Grinch's leg sticking out of it, like he's buried in the cupcake.
Yeah.
Or like melting snowmen that are on cupcakes and things like that.
Yeah, decorated Rice Krispie treats too.
Yeah, like cookies and things like that that are all unique to that area of the park that you can only get within Grinchmas.
Yeah. And then there's the stage show.
Yes, they have stage show too.
I
honestly don't remember what it was.
Well, there's a whole bunch of different ones. It was like every so often, every hour, every half hour, there was a different show. I know one of them was what's her name?
Mary Lou.
Mary Lou.
Is it Cindy Lou?
Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou. It was her reading a story. So she was just sitting on a stage reading the story of the Grinch, or was it just another story?
I'm pretty sure she was reading the story of the Grinch.
Yeah, I think so too. We caught a little bit of it, and she's all in makeup. Well, she doesn't have the nose.
She doesn't have
though.
makeup. She has her hair done,
Yeah,
just like
she
the
has the hair
character
done.
from the movie.
She probably can't have full makeup because she couldn't breathe through her nose in the makeup. So she would sound like this when she was giving the...
Yeah, but also in the movie, she didn't have makeup on it. Not, like, barely any makeup on. She just had, like, a regular little nose because she was a little kid.
Yeah. And then there's dancers, too, like Whoville dancers. I've read the sheet, but I forgot the rest of them. But there are plenty of shows to see throughout the day on that stage. And the big tree is the backdrop. And it's a super cool Whoville tree. It's all twisty and turny with a big star at the top. Super cool.
One thing that they used to do, and I remember it being one year, they actually had like real snow that you could go to, like make some snowballs and toss them at each other and just kind of walk around in the snow. I thought that was so much fun. I wish they could bring that back, but maybe it's just some type of logistical issue, or like maybe some type of like issue where they don't want people to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because I do remember slipping a few times really easily. but I really enjoyed that because it made me feel like in the Christmas spirit.
Oh, yeah.
But for what they have right now and what they're doing, I think it's fantastic. Like we said at the beginning, I just would love to see it expand because I want more of it. I think that's the thing. Is I just want more of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what happens if it like expands and then like the Grinch takes over The Walking Dead?
Oh my gosh, that'd be funny.
It's like all the zombies are not attacking you; they're just trying to get away from the Grinch because they just don't want to have, and they don't want anything to do with him. That'd be really funny. And then like the guy who's shooting the gun in the walkway above, he's the Grinch instead. Be pretty funny.
That would be funny.
So, moving on, in the surrounding areas, you'll have, that little New York street, you have Baker Street and stuff like that. They're all decked out with snow and lights and everything. There's a snowman photo op to the right of Grinchmas area.
Uh-huh.
And then down Baker Street, I remember it said Happy Christmas, and then it had a year. I don't remember the year, though.
I don't remember the year either. But yeah, but it was all kind of English type of Christmas decorations, which was kind of cool. They had nutcrackers. And,
yeah. And it was all like pretty much like white lights too. Because I remember walking down at night and I was really impressed. I thought it was really pretty.
Yeah.
So, and then right past that you have Minions Mayhem. And to the left and the right of that, they have the houses.
Yeah.
That are kind of like the Minion theme houses. Those all have Christmas lights on them, which are really pretty.
Uh-huh.
And as you make around to the right around that to the French area, you have lights hanging over the street itself, which is really pretty.
Yes, they were both very pretty streets.
Yes, and then that leads you right towards, you could hear our rat. Our rat is in the Christmas spirit, I'm sure. It leads you right to Hogsmeade. It leads you right to Hogsmeade, where there's a lot of Christmas stuff to see here.
It is all decorated, garland and wreaths all over the place.
And what I really, really love about the Christmas decorations in Hogsmeade is how subtle they are. It isn't just, oh, let's throw up a wreath here, oh, let's throw up a wreath here. They look like decorations that have been stowed away in a box for a really long time.
Yeah.
That they're dusty, like they're old,
and
they've been used.
My favorite part was that they're themed to the shops they're over. So, like the candy shop, the wreaths are full of candy and stuff, and then the shop over the
Owlery has feathers in it.
Yeah, the Owlery store, or not store, just the Owlery has feathers in it. Then the store that really focuses on like the merchandise for like the houses, they have like ribbons in it of all the colors of the houses. And the Quidditch shop has little
stitches in them.
Yeah, little snitches, not stitches.
Sorry. We were looking at Stitch plushies today, and I think that's just in my head.
We were in the Disney store.
We were in the Disney store.
Yeah.
Snitches, yes, the golden snitches, they were in there too.
Yeah.
And a few other things. Yeah, like every store is kind of decorated to its particular theme.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And they have one huge mistletoe.
Yeah.
Just hanging over by the Quidditch store.
Uh-huh. And we can't not talk about hot butterbeer.
Yes, the hot butterbeer is back. The hot butterbeer is in season, and we are blissful beyond all belief.
Oh my gosh. I literally said to you, the first sip I took, I was like, I keep forgetting that this is my favorite because it's seasonal, so you don't have it all the time. So, the rest of the year, if you ask me, I'll say, oh, regular butterbeer all the way. And then the first sip of that hot butterbeer, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this.
It's so good.
Definitely
it's
my favorite.
Ridiculous. And I know a lot of people have different opinions based on butterbeer because, you have your hot butterbeer fans, you have your cold butterbeer fans, and you have your frozen butterbeer fans, which I don't know why they're fans of frozen.
They're crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. But definitely 100% hands down, our favorite hot butterbeer is hot butterbeer. And if you are over the age of 21, do yourself a favor. Buy some fire whiskey and put it right in there with it. It is unbelievably good.
It's so good.
It just adds a little... our friend Rick West from TPA basically put it the best way I can imagine. He basically just said, it's Christmas in your mouth. And that is 100% true. It is so good.
Yep.
It's just like if you were to put like rum in your eggnog. It's just as good.
Yeah.
If not better, in my opinion.
I think it's better.
And to stay on that subject of like treats and foods and stuff, butterbeer isn't the only thing that's come for the holidays, the Three Broomsticks actually has some other food offerings now because of this. And one of the things we actually did get to try was almost like a holiday dinner platter.
Yeah.
In a way.
So everything you would think of for Thanksgiving, really, but they have it for Christmas also. It's turkey and what's the berries? What? Cranberries. Yeah, cranberries. What
kind of berries are those things? Always the way I like to remember that, if it helps you, is cranberries come in a can. Canned cranberries.
Canberries.
Canberries. Does that help you at all?
Yeah, kind of does.
A little bit.
It's
kind of stupid.
It's okay.
Ignore me. Anyway, yeah, so they have the dinner platter thing, which we tried, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, we actually shared it. It was good.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of food, but it's a mix between like what we would expect as Americans as like a Christmas/Thanksgiving dinner with the turkey and the stuffing and a few other things. But there's also English influence in it too, because you have this red cabbage on the side with a bacon wrapped sausage, which I'm pretty sure that sausage is a banger. I think. I'm not 100%. I honestly don't remember that well. I just remember eating it and going, that was good, and then it was gone. And then you have your potatoes that are there with the onions that you normally have during all other parts of the year at Three Broomsticks. And I thought it was really good.
It was delicious.
The stuffing to me was the best part. The stuffing was so freaking good.
Mm-hmm. It was like big chunks of bread.
It was stupid good.
Uh-huh.
So and that was plenty enough for 2 people to share, and I don't even know how much that was. It was like $13.
15, 14 or 15.
I think it was 13 once we were done with our annual pass discount.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but like even if it's $15, what is that? Like $7.50 a person.
Yeah.
That's still not that bad considering you're at a theme park. When people think of theme parks, they're like, ooh, you're going to be spending a lot of money on food. Goodness gracious. Oh, well, $7.50 a person ain't so bad.
Yeah.
Especially if you're okay with sharing. In that moment, we were good because we didn't want to eat like a ton.
Yeah. We're mostly, it depends. It definitely depends on how hungry we are, if we're good on sharing or not.
If Nikki hasn't eaten in a while, I try to kind of keep a 3-foot distance away from her because I'm afraid of losing fingers. That's kind of usually how I gauge it.
We were at the mall. We were at the mall earlier, and he was like, "We need to feed you right now," and he like went on a mission to get me food. Like nothing else was priority anymore.
It was Nikki feeding time or nothing.
I started to get snappy, and then I got quiet.
If I would like my life to be happy, I feed Nikki. That's kind of the way it is. So at that time, we were good to share. But if Nikki's in that weird zone where she needs to eat, I'm good getting my own thing.
I'm like a walking Snickers commercial.
You are. You are a walking Snickers commercial.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
No,
Here, have whatever this is that's healthy.
Anything.
Have anything.
You were so desperate. You were like trying to get me to get Wetzel's pretzels because it was the closest thing to you.
And you told me you wanted juice. I'm like, juice isn't like it's not going to sustain you at all.
I think when I get grouchy like that though, all I need is sugar.
You that grouchy?
Yeah.
Just sugar.
I think it's like a sugar thing.
I think you're just hungry in general. Our rat is making so much noise.
She's trying to bring her crunchy tunnel up into her bed.
Is that what she's doing?
Yeah, she's pulling the whole thing up.
That's annoying.
Yeah, sorry, people. It's okay.
But now, away from the tangent of Nikki's hunger issues.
I'm hungry right now.
So am I. I'm hungry. Let's hope that this episode doesn't derail because of Nikki's hunger. Cross your fingers, everybody. We're going for a bumpy ride. No, but and then even on top of that, I feel like outside of the food, I just feel like in general, Hogsmeade lends itself to a Christmassy atmosphere because of the snow on the rooftops and everything like that. So when you add all these wonderful decorations, it just takes it to that next level.
Yeah.
And especially at nighttime when it's cold with the lights, with the hot butter beer. It's fantastic. And especially for Harry Potter nerds like you, like this is the perfect place to be.
Oh yeah, I never want to leave. Like
I know, you literally never want to leave, but then even now it's like you're holding on to like the light pole and you don't want to leave. Like you're holding onto the light pole to pull you out of that place.
I know. It's just so it's magical, and I just sit there with my hot fire whiskey butterbeer.
Fire butterbeer?
I was gonna say fire beer.
How about butter whiskey?
Butter whiskey.
Ew, that sounds gross.
Ew. No, okay, well, with my hot beverage, and I just stare at the castle, and I literally could just stay there forever. It's wonderful.
We definitely could stay there forever.
Yeah.
And speaking of the castle, they have a fantastic show at Universal Studios Hollywood this year called sorry, I almost was going to say the name. The name of the area is Christmas at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. But the name of the actual show is The Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts Castle. So, this is a projection show that happens on the gigantic Hogwarts Castle itself. So everybody sits and waits. They have shows every half an hour, starting from 6 to close of the park. And they play music, lights, fireworks, and the projections on the castle. And I remember the first time we watched it a couple times. The first time we watched it, you were periscoping, and I was taking photos with the camera. So we didn't really, live it.
Yeah.
We watched it through a screen, kind of. We were with friends, and they were tearing up, and they were getting emotional, and we were like, "Oh, well, that didn't happen to us. That kind of sucks." But since that, by the time that we were gonna wait for things to clear out because it was really packed. But by the time that we were about to leave, it was only 10 minutes till the next one, so we just chilled to the next one. That was when we actually got to watch it, without any hindering factors. And I don't know about you, but I personally was very moved with the incredible John Williams score and just the music and just the everything really got me. The visuals are stunning and beautiful and crisp and colorful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't tear up or anything, but I did just get super, super happy. That's the feeling it gave me, just overwhelming, just happiness.
I definitely got emotional because I think me and you have a very different connection to music. I know that I'm I'm much more musically inclined than you are. Whenever I hear a tune, I'm like, oh, I remember that tune. You're like, what are you talking about? You don't remember it.
Yeah.
For me, music is a really important thing in my life. So when I hear that music from the film that I love so much, it's like, oh my gosh. Then top that off with these visuals that are incredible, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I'm not going to tell you any specifics, but if you're a Harry Potter nerd, you're going to love this show.
You are going to love
Even if
it.
you're not a Harry Potter nerd, you're going to love the show just because visually it's stunning.
Yeah. And pro tip, stand kind of by the stage where they do the frog choir performances. Stand there. That is the perfect view you could possibly have. Everything's not obstructed. Everything is the perfect kind of perspective.
Definitely the perfect perspective. And also another tip, just show up a little bit earlier because the crowds can just get so insane. And if you happen to be in Hogsmeade when they start lining people up outside, stay in Hogsmeade. Because if you leave, then you have to get into that huge line of people that are waiting to get in just to see the show. Yeah. So what they end up doing is they'll funnel people out who've seen the show and then funnel people back in so that people can get seats for the show. Yeah. So just show up around 3:30 or 4 and then stake out a seat around, go wait in your line for your hot butter beer or something. Yeah. Then by that time, it'll be 4:30 or 5. Go stake a claim seat over by the Frog Choir stage.
And also, if you need to see an early show because you're going to leave the park or something, be there early and wait. But then also, we've found that if you wait around, do whatever else you want, go ride Transformers. If you wait till the 7:30, 8 o'clock show, you can walk up 15 minutes before and get a good spot.
There was nobody when we walked by.
There was nobody waiting for
zero.
the 8. Yeah. There was no one waiting for the 8. And also a good tip is the crowds get so bad that you can't really access the Forbidden Journey ride. So the lines go down to 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It's crazy.
During the show. So if you wanted to see the 6:30 light show and then immediately go onto the ride, you wouldn't wait at all.
We basically almost walked directly on.
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
We passed through the whole greenhouse outside area. It wasn't until we got to the room where Harry and Ron are that we had to stop. But still, all the switchbacks were cut off. It was just one line straight through.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, but kudos to that entire team. If I were to think of one issue, it was, I mean, I can't fault them 100% because of this. Obviously, the best viewing area for the show is from a distance, and you don't want to be super up close. Unfortunately, there's just not that much space over there, and so many people want to see the show that they tend to just push people closer and closer and closer and closer to the castle, even right next to it, where you'll start to see gaps in the projection because the angle is off at this point. So you're not going to see, the projections no longer meet. You see the castle and the rocks that are not going to be projected upon. I personally think that's an issue because you're kind of breaking that magic of the way it's supposed to look, and you're getting less of a quality experience than you could be getting. I mean, yes, those people could have showed up earlier, but I also don't think that you should be pushing people so far that they're not going to be seeing the show that the way you're intending it to be seen. I don't know. It's a weird in between because yes, we want to fit as many people in to see it, but at the same time, if it's going to cause them to have a lackluster experience of seeing it, then maybe you shouldn't push them that far because we were really not that far from that back wall where it goes into the backstage area.
But I think
we're really close.
I think that's a last resort area for them because we showed up, in all honesty, 3 minutes before it started.
Oh, no, no, totally.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
so,
I don't deny that.
Yeah, so we got what we gave ourselves time for. So they pushed us all the way to the end. We could still see part of the front, but we were very off to the side. So, that's just what we get for showing up that late, and I don't fault them for that at all. I think that they did a great job of, with the castle being so many dimensions, because it's on the rocks and then it's on the part of the castle that's jutting forward, and there's so many different dimensions and curves and nooks and crannies to that castle. I'm impressed that they even got such a cohesive look as they did, on so many different angles. So, and it's impossible to get the whole thing. So, because, parts of the shadow cast shadows, parts of the castle cast shadows on other parts during the projections. It's just what happens. So I'm impressed with how much they did get to cover. So yeah, it's not ideal to see it from there, but given the time we showed up, it's what we got. And, hopefully people aren't getting that on their first time seeing the show or their only time seeing the show. But, I think that they did the best that they could.
And I'm not complaining for us because
Yeah.
I know that we're going to be able to see it multiple times. We saw it multiple times. We saw it 3 times, for goodness sake. We saw it 3 times, 2 times from the distance that I like, and then once close up.
Yeah.
And my critique of it isn't because they didn't do a good enough job. It isn't the dedication in the creation of the projections, because those are all fantastic. It's more or less the operations of pushing people that far away, because I know that at the time I was like, oh, they should have had at least one more projector to get it from this angle, because it wasn't the shadows that was the issue. It was at that point we're looking at it from an angle where the projections are no longer hitting it. We're seeing around the side of the castle that we shouldn't be looking at, because now we're seeing things that aren't meant to be seen for the show.
Yeah.
From that angle. That at the time that's what I had said, but I actually heard the UUOP episode where they had a chat with Mike Aiello from Orlando, and he had said that there was like 20-something projectors that you're using to get this thing, and how insane it is because there's so many different textures and shapes and things that are going on with the castle that it's not an easy thing to project upon.
So basically what I already
or
said.
map project, yeah, it's just freaking insane.
I didn't even listen to that episode. I just knew it.
Yeah, and well, I mean, just like 20-something projectors, I mean, that's a lot of projectors.
Yeah.
And then even the high quality amount of how high quality they have to be in order to get images that are that crisp from that distance, which is pretty incredible. But I think more or less now it is operations, but I do, like I said, it's not that I'm sorry for the language, but I'm not bitching and moaning for no reason.
No, yeah.
It's operationally, but I do
experience.
understand.
Yeah.
And I want people to have the best experience when they come to this, because going to Universal Studios isn't a cheap ticket. I mean, yes, all this stuff is included in the ticket price, which is pretty awesome. But if you're going to go see this, do show up early. But don't shove people so far back to the point where they're having an experience like basically half or a quarter of what you could be if they were, maybe 50 yards the other way.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, because we weren't even all the way past, and we were still missing like a good quarter of what was going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a tough spot for them too. It's like with people still pouring in like that, it would cause a traffic jam if you just stopped everybody.
Yeah, there's no room.
Yeah.
There's no room whatsoever, but just based on the way that the area was designed.
Yeah.
Because that street curves to the right and then to the left. And only until you really come around to your left is when you have that perfect view of Hogwarts. Because everything else is kind of like blocking the view of it. All the houses and all the buildings are really blocking the view. So unless you're around that corner, that's the only time you're going to get that perfect view, which you're not really going to hold that many people there.
Yeah.
I mean, having a projection show probably wasn't on their minds when they built the area.
No. They were focusing more on like the
aesthetics and getting it right,
the
making it look good.
of it than like, oh, maybe one day we want a projection show,
Yeah, exactly.
So I just like that critique aside, like tip from us, listen, park it at the front of the castle. Do not show up late. If you show up late, just wait 20 minutes and go to the next one. It'll be worth it,
Yeah, don't waste your time seeing the show that close up, because it does not do it justice.
Yeah.
At all.
And they're every 30 minutes, so you have plenty of chances. So park it in a good spot for a show and just experience it in all of the splendor it was meant to be seen in.
Yeah, because it's extremely, extremely impressive.
Yes, it is.
For what it is. And I remember, walking up to it. Like, I remember thinking about, like, oh, cool, a projection show. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't really put too much weight into it because I just figured it was a projection show. But I don't think I've ever seen a projection show like this. Like, we've seen it on It's a Small World before, and that's kind of fun. We've saw it on the castle during fireworks at Disneyland and stuff like that. I feel like this is just a different level of projection. We've seen like waterfall, like at Disneyland, they have the water during the 60th anniversary that like the waterfall come off, or like Walt and Mickey walk through the center and stuff like that. But I feel like this is just a different level of projection show that I think is just the next step in that evolution of things that we're going to be seeing to come. And I really, really like it. I think Universal did a fantastic job.
They did. It's incredible.
So, but that's pretty much it with regards to Universal Studios Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
There really wasn't too much. I would love to see it kind of evolve into something that's a little bit larger. For what they did, it was pretty impressive. And like I said, with everything else being like a special ticket price, like Knott's Berry Farm, where it's included in the ticket price. You go to Universal Studios, you get the Christmas stuff, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So it isn't like some like overly priced event.
And we didn't do it, but the tram tour still has the Grinch part.
Oh, I had mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
You should listen.
What was I thinking about? I don't know.
You're probably thinking about eating.
Is it probably?
You're probably thinking about the next meal you're gonna have.
Also, the Grinch part of the tram tour.
Yes.
That too.
I would just love to see Christmas kind of make its way down to the lower lot, which would be nice.
Yeah.
And a few other things. I mean, even if it's like little cheeky touches in Jurassic Park or something, or whatever it may be. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Just something fun down there. And I know it's kind of difficult to kind of incorporate those things into the rides or even into anything else because they're all movie related.
They could put
how do you make Christmas?
Put a Santa hat on the Optimus Prime meet and greet.
Yeah, like give Bumblebee like a Christmas hat or Santa hat or something, and then make Megatron's like all burnt and messed up.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's silly. And then Bumblebee could do Christmas music instead.
Yeah.
Like that. How funny would that be? It's little touches. I mean, the little touches are what make a difference. Mm-hmm. So, but overall, Christmas at Universal Studios Hollywood is pretty fantastic, especially if you're a fan of movies, if you're a fan of The Grinch, if you're a fan of Harry Potter. This is the place to go like any other time. So make sure you head over to Universal Studios Hollywood if you love that kind of stuff. Like we did. We had a blast.
We had a lot of fun.
We had a very difficult time not eating everything. I think that was definitely the worst part, is that having to withstand the treats and the foods, especially in Hogsmeade.
I wanted like 10 hot butterbeers.
Yeah, if you drink 10 hot butterbeers, I'm pretty sure you'll go into a diabetic coma.
Probably.
So make sure you don't do that. Don't drink so many butterbeers that'll make you grossed out and go get diabetic. That's not good. No.
Good things in moderation.
Exactly. But thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode about the holidays at Universal Studios Hollywood. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And Nikki and I have been talking since the last time we made a bet on the show. A lot of people really enjoyed seeing me get pied in the face. So
I certainly did.
Well, of course you did. Why wouldn't you? Of course. And we've been chatting a lot about possibly doing another bet. And it sounds like that's what's going to happen. And we would like to announce today that we will be doing another bet on the show. And we will be doing the same thing, but it's going to be reversed.
Dun, dun, dun.
If we get 5 reviews by next Monday. So what is the date today, Nikki? What the date of Monday?
Today is the 10th.
Today is the 10th that we're recording. We're recording the 10th, so the 11th.
Yeah.
So if we get 5 reviews on iTunes, 5-star written reviews on iTunes by, what is it, the 18th?
Sure.
The 18th, which is the following Monday.
Uh-huh.
Then we will pie Nikki in the face, and we will post it on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and social media. So that will happen. I know that there was a lot of comments on the YouTube page about when is Nikki going to get pied in the face. I think it's Nikki's turn. I think it's only fair if Nikki gets it. All this stuff.
I want the reviews, people.
So 5-star written reviews, 5 of them. If we get it, Nikki will get pied in the face. It will happen. So that's our next bet that's happening right now. And then now it's time to reveal who our special guest was. We already recorded it.
It's already
it's
in
already
the can.
done. It's already in the can. Who our special guest is for our season finale episode of the Theme Park Duo podcast.
It is Bob Gurr.
Yes, the incomparable Bob Gurr, famous for his being a Disney legend and a Disney Imagineer and many other things on top of that. The builder of King Kong at Universal Studios Hollywood and many other incredible things. So we got to go to his house, sit down with him and chat about his career and just his path from humble beginnings to where he ended up today and what he does.
It was a great talk.
It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And we got some stuff in there that I don't think really anybody else has asked him before or talked about before.
Yeah.
You know, because Bob has done a lot of interviews with a lot of different people. And I know that when we showed up, he's like, so I hope you have a lot of questions that nobody's ever asked me before. And I'm like, maybe, I hope so. So we definitely have a really fun interview with him that you guys do not want to miss out on. It's going to be fantastic. There's a lot of really cool little snippets, especially if you're just a fan of design and engineering and hearing his story about how he started.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of his Disney work, then you're going to love hearing about some of the stuff that you may not know of. Mm-hmm. So lots of really fun stuff coming up in that season finale, which you guys are going to freaking love.
Yep. I can't wait to hear it again. We interviewed him a while ago.
That was like a month or 2 ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
So I'll hear it with fresh ears too.
Yeah, I think I want to re-listen to it before I post it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah.
So, but thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully you guys will run over to iTunes and give us a 5-star written review to see Nikki get pied in the face. If you guys have already done that, thank you again for leaving that. As you know, writing those reviews always help us out so much. It brings us up in the standings and helps everybody find us and listen to us and enjoy us just like you are right now. And Nikki, how can people find the show?
You can find us everywhere on social media at Theme Park Duo. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. I think that's it.
Yeah, and we do a lot of Instagram stories now.
Yes.
We started really jumping into that because we see a lot of people interacting with us on there and stuff, which is fun. So make sure to check us out there for sure. And then you could also reach us at themeparkduo@gmail.com. Yes. And then Nikki, where can people follow you specifically?
You can follow me on Twitter at NikkiM_313.
And you can follow me at Laker793 on Twitter. But most importantly, everybody, always remember, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See ya.
Thanks for riding with the theme park duo. Make sure to gather all your belongings before the end of the podcast. Bye-bye.